Big Dan. Oh, give it to me. Go, give it to me. Brother Dan, where's your oh yeah? Brother Dan, where's your oh yeah? Can I get it?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Can I get her? Can I get her?
Pick it up now.
Can I get her?
Do you want some?
Can I get it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What?
I just got into Discord. I'm just hanging out with Doves. Just me and Doves.
All right. Music should be starting soon. Welcome, everyone. There it is. Welcome to the LeafCast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan.
It is. I was there when you were named. And I'm Ryan's brother Dan.
Ew.
And, suspicion made the air in the tower like hot jelly.
Are you saying you saw my little baby penis?
I saw your little winger.
And you dubbed me Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah, because when they circumcised you, you were crying.
Oh. Hey, if this type of humor is what you're here for, give us a like and subscribe. We are here to talk Book 7, Crown of Swords, chapters 32 through 36, and this is episode 133. Hard to believe. But we have first-time readers backstage. They've been waiting patiently, and they're really why you guys are here. Let's bring them in.
Yeah.
Turn around, Carissa. And
Chris is battling a tech monster. It looks like the internet's still pausing her.
All right, KayK, let's do plan B.
There it is. There she is.
You are pausing out.
And let me remind anyone in the Discord to hit mute, please. Awesome. Josh, you are muted.
This is the best start we've had in a long time, Dan.
Best start in a while, Ryan.
I think you're the one who needs to mute in Discord, Dan.
What's that?
I think you need to mute in Discord, it looks like.
I did. I muted.
You're immutable. Josh, you look amazing. You have a new camera. You have great lighting. Looking great. We're going to get KayK in here sooner than later.
Those snake fern. What is that? Snake fern?
Snake fern.
Snake palm?
Mother-in-law's tongue.
Mother-in-law's tongue. Yes, that's that's trending right now on Pornhub.
I was gonna say.
Yes,
your father's away on business for so long. All right, everyone's writing.
Ryan, you are actually in the minority.
How so?
Because Josh and I are grokking the beans.
Okay, whatever. I know your game. You're trying to get Josh like you more than he likes me.
Josh, hey Josh, do you want to come over for a barbecue?
Sure.
Okay. See, he said sure right away. You didn't even ask what day, Ryan.
You're a lot closer to me than Ryan is. So,
if you really want to get Josh's get into his loins, Magic the Gathering. If you came to his house with the cards.
All right, I'm gonna go learn so I can get into his loins.
He just left. All right, let's. All right, we're gonna try KayK again. Bringing her in. Is this gonna work?
No, I don't think so. You can't hear me either, right?
Wait, we can hear you.
Oh, you can. Okay,
You're just a little slower now.
So I wasn't sure if anybody could hear me. Bless you, Josh. Is it working now? Are we okay?
Yes, and you look great. Everything's looking good.
Okay,
you fixed it.
Kay, so good to see you. Hello.
Kay, said I.
Whatever we will do. Anyway.
We got some chapters. Yes, Beej. Yes, chat. We try and keep it spoiler free because we are looking at chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so try and keep your comments spoiler free. But any questions, we'd love to have them. Let's say hi to MaTsDaGger. Light illumine you, my friend. Except for Josh. Okay, yeah. He's like those oil barons who just give to both sides, right? Like they give to the Republicans and the Democrats.
Thank you, MaTsDaGger.
Never knew who's going to weigh in your favor, so
yeah,
petition both sides.
I love it.
Yeah, that's why when I drink, I only drink communal wine. Yeah.
Ryan, I think we have a couple new people in the chat here. I think I'm not sure they understand exactly what almost flawless.
Flawless would be a LeafCast fail. So,
say again.
Flawless would be a LeafCast fail.
Absolutely, yeah.
It had character.
We've never gotten that comment in chat once. Hey, that's a flawless show, guys.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why Bella? Why not? Why Bella?
Why
Right,
not?
guys,
I don't think we know the answer either.
I've asked that a lot, and then apparently Bella's just a fan favorite because she's super sweet and she's a horse, and she.
What'd you call her?
She's a whore.
Horse. A horse. She's an icon, right? Like she's
Bella
just one of
Fox.
the- she's
Yep.
a little
Bella Fox.
legendary.
Yeah, Bella Fox. Hashtag Bella Fox.
Oh no. I'm
But for the true answer, you're gonna get a read and fuck off. Yeah.
So, guys, we are doing chapters 32 through 36.
Agreed,
We're doing
Matt.
5 chapters. This is the penultimate episode before we finish this book, I believe. So I want to make sure that we get through all 5 chapters, because next week is like 6 and it's longer. So I want to get through these.
I'm ready.
I read chapter 37 because you told us we were going to.
I said I wrote down chapter 32 to 36, but that's okay.
big fat cheater. Just kidding.
All right.
That was written down at the end of the show.
Mhm.
Remember
All right.
words.
All right. Well,
I think
did
Josh is
32 to
right.
36. All right, Steel
Josh
to
is
the
always right.
Flame. This is chapter 32. It's got the whale tear blue, the little whale sperm. It is an Elida chapter point of view. Elida do Avery al Ragnarok. And she's having a dream. Coolest dream ever. Young Althor's there, kissing her ass. She's still in Shiriam. She's like, you bitch. She's like, I know, right? I'm sorry. Egwin's there. Egwin's like, I'm so sorry, Elida. Please. Please.
You swept right past the important bit. The shawl only has 6 colors.
The
Yeah,
shark.
what was that about?
The blues have been disbanded.
It was blue.
On the blues.
Yeah, the blue line was missing.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And they just kind of move the chairs a little closer and they make the circle a little bit closer so that 18 can fit instead of 21.
Yes, obviously.
That's like when you have concerts and you can't fill up the stadium, so you're just like, hey, let's just cover that part of the stadium with some tarp.
Yeah, we're gonna put that. Yeah, no one's hitting up there.
Let's move the stage closer to the audience.
Also, she in her dream, she's like, Egwin, you're gonna do the 4th oath, which is loyalty and
To the
obedience
Amarant.
to the Amarant seat.
Which is
And then
ironic
Egwene's like,
because
oh, yes, mother, I will.
well, it's ironic, right? Because Egwene actually got that from girl initiates and accepted an Aes Sedai, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, define that. So, do you think that everyone in like Saladar have sworn fealty to her? Okay.
No. Okay. I think it's just her inner circle.
Okay.
Well, outer circle. I don't know. Who are the people you trust enough to include, but don't trust far enough to not have them swear fealty to you?
Like Ramonda and
are they the outer circle or the inner circle? I think they're the outer circle.
No, they're probably part of her like council, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She gets woken up. She's like, she hears, "Bitch, wake up!" And she's like, "Wait, what'd you say?" She wakes up. She's like, "I said it's time to wake up, mother."
Wait, you fool woman.
The sphincter says what?
What? So Kavarla returns. Kavarla is telling the news. She's like, so it turns out out of 39 Aes Sedai that went out, only 12 come back.
Yeah. She's like, fuck.
Like, this is kind of the worst thing that's ever happened.
Mm-hmm. She's a terrible Amerlin.
Quote, the woman paused, breathing hard.
Sure. Well, yeah, let's start it off.
All right, cool. Okay.
First drinking obligation of the night. Kind of a weak one, but we're desperate. We're thirsty.
I already need a new drink.
Hey, welcome,
Hello.
Ooh.
Hey, baby.
Can we announce his podcast?
69% off. Is it really 69%?
It's exactly. Yeah, math. Math is fun.
Math is fun. That was difficult to get out. Could you tell?
So Elida hears the news. She kicks the girl out, and Alviarin is like, "You weren't even listening. You don't even know what the fuck she just said. You don't even know shit. Hey, Elida, you don't know fucking shit right now. You don't know shit."
Hey, guess what?
She's like, "What do you mean?
You know nothing."
She's like, "You didn't even hear about the men. She called them living weapons. There's over 100 that can channel." Elaine's like, "What? What?" She's like,
it's amazing, Dovie.
I'm afraid to use Discord right now because I don't want my internet to be any worse than it currently is.
Yeah, let's hold off on that right now.
But I'll see you soon.
She's like, yeah. She's like, no, you're fucked right now. She's all, listen, you want to keep this stole? You listen to me. You listen to me right now. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll listen. She's like, what advice does my keeper have to offer? Quote, she had to stop and swallow.
Okay.
I'm going to drink.
You snuck that one up on me.
RBRN says, all right, here's what you got to do. You got to Tovian, whatever she is, fuck her. She's gone. Deal with it. Galena, she's gone. Whatever. They come back, get rid of them. She says, quote, don't you really think the guard should be increased at all? And she's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And she says, tomorrow you will personally search Josane's rooms and Avalorna's. She's like, why? She's like, to find Angriel, you dummy. She's like, but that's no big deal. She's like, we'll make it a big deal. You stupid goddamn. We're gonna fuck you. And then she's like, everyone needs to believe that these. She's trying to set them up. Getting the green mad at the grays. Getting the grays mad at the yellows. Everyone's gonna be all mad. She's like, why would I do this? And she's like, you say it. She's like, fine, I'll do as I am told.
Hey, Brother Dan, real quick.
I feel like she's not really left with a choice, though. Like what? But I couldn't quite figure out why she wasn't like totally left with a choice.
Well, I'm sorry, Kate. Give me. This is a rarity where the chat has actually come up with a
drinking obligation.
Real drinking obligation.
Now, Noman Garden's been delivering several a show for the past few shows.
Well, it would not be pleasant to have those men suddenly. I'm gonna like that one. I'm gonna thumbs that one up.
To have those men suddenly.
No, we got to drink to that one.
No, I drank. That's what I meant. All right, so Kate, go on with what you were saying.
What was I saying? Okay, so she feels like she's bullied into that position, and then what's her face? Cian says that she's going to do something else, and she basically demands it. I forget what it was, but it's like she says it like she's going to decide when that happens. I think something with Rand, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But like when the group is going to know about it or something like that. So, but why? It wasn't clear to me why this person has such power over Elida. Like,
yeah, these are good questions. Yeah.
What happened? I feel like I missed something. Like, does she know something? Is she blackmailing her?
She knows about the failed attempt on Rand.
Oh, okay, yeah, and she knows that she's going to get in trouble. That's right. Thank you. She knows she's going to get in trouble, right? And like, she'll be stilled if the rest of them find out. Is that right?
I mean, that's
right. Like the rest of the tower finds out about Rand being gone, or
that's what Alviarian kind of threatens her with. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially because I mean, they lost 27 sisters.
Oh yeah, not Cian.
They went out with 39. They came back with 12.
Right.
And they're no one knows that Rand's captured the other ones, and that only 3 were stilled. Right. I mean, there's some missing information here.
Yeah.
There is, but it's still.
And Alviarian may have it. We don't know. Right.
Well, they talk about a rescue the sisters.
Right. Yeah, but I think that's more. They know that some are captured. I guess maybe they know that all of them are captured. Yeah, I don't know.
Do they know about
to see who died? Maybe.
Do they know about the rest of the other women? They don't know about any of the other women that we know about that can channel, right?
No.
That's all still separate.
No, this is like going back. This is the point in time we keep returning to, right? Of like, well,
yeah.
This has been Rand. Like the anchor that we coming back to at these like time jumps is like the battle with Rand at
Josh,
let me place in my wells.
Men. Huh?
What were you gonna say there?
Let me ask you if I can, Josh, and Kay here. Alviarian says, there's no point in me working to keep the stole on your neck otherwise, unless you do as you're told. Say it. Elida tried to look away. Oh, light. She had to think. Her belly was clenched in a knot. I will do as I am told. Kind of haltingly. Is this an oath? Is she now like sworn to obey Alviarian based on her oaths, the oath rod shit?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I mean, I think like I'll do as I am told could mean by anybody. Like it's kind of an Aes Sedai way of answering it. You know?
We saw the same transition of power happen twice.
Mm-hmm.
Once earlier in the novel, where we saw when Baron, what's Varen, the Aes Sedai from the first books? Is that my getting that right? When Varen appears and they kind of like take power from the I forget what it was called.
I'm not remembering.
The Aes Sedai who were going to Rand for the tower. There was like someone who was in charge of it.
The emissaries or embassy?
The embassy, thank you. emissary. Yeah, which I don't remember which it was, Ryan. So we saw this power transition happen there, and then with with Elaine, we just saw it happen where like she went in, got all haughty, and then we saw them immediately be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do," and they even explained it like Aes Sedai might seem proud, but once they recognize that they need to listen, everything changes and they become docile or something.
Yeah.
You remember what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I remember this. This rings a bell. I just don't remember like any details around it, but this all definitely rings a bell.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the Aes Sedai way of doing things. However, I think the more important question is, did Elida just become a dark friend?
Right?
We know Masana is ultimately the one pulling. Well, we know that Alviarin is a dark friend, a Black Aja, and we know that Masana has taught her how to travel and has taken her under her wing. And now we see, and at the end of this chapter, we get a little bit of like her reflecting on Masana and like her position of power above everyone else, right? So the real question for me is, did Elida just unwittingly become a dark friend by agreeing to follow here?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question, Josh.
That is a good question.
I mean, what do you think? What's your gut telling you?
I mean, I feel like this is like Hollywood movie like classic of like. I've always kind of wondered if she was a Black Aja, and now so this is like yet another implanting of like that questioning right around her. Not something we see with a lot of the other Aes Sedai. We either know that they are or that they aren't. We know that she's not, but like a lot of what she's done could easily be interpreted that way. Whether it's the presentation of the Reds, or her role that we know of her kind of her past and like her hating on other people.
Well, with that, bring in Cian then. So. Elida goes and sees Cian the next morning and pretty much assigns her to
investigate
search for bad shit, more or less.
Right. But isn't that what makes her smile at the end of the passage is like, yeah, we don't know if that's part of her plan and she's nervous while doing it because she's afraid of getting caught by Alviarin, or is it that that's something that Alviarin told her to do that was passed on from Masana? We don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Like, did Elida get additional instructions between then and then from Alviarin? And whose behest is she doing this stuff?
Well, what she does say to Cian, hey, listen, we're looking for traitors.
Yeah, don't
tell ne'er-do-wells up into and including the keeper herself. So if we have to assume that wasn't part of her orders, correct? From Alviarin, if Alviarin did pass on orders, it wasn't to like appoint someone to inspect me.
Right. I mean, I think that's the most likely. But is there some other way where like, I mean, it does kind of seem like this sister that we meet is competent. I read it at first until the end of the chapter as if like, oh, this could be like them putting an incompetent person in charge of finding the Black Aja so that they can prove that it doesn't exist, right? You don't know that as you're reading until you get to the end of the chapter and it's like she goes to talk to her friend and she's like, listen, this just happened, right?
Right. And we do hear that she has integrity. She didn't stand for Elida at a principle. And Elida like notes that and says, all right, well, you have principles.
or no one will lead this back to me because you're not someone who likes me.
Good point. Quote, guys, I have another one. Quote, like hot jelly.
It's a very philosophical question, Deej.
Yeah, no, it's Beach. All I want to say is it's turtles all the way down.
It's so many turtles of so many asses.
I thought it was puppets all the way down, Ryan. Are you lying to me?
Guys, like hot jelly.
A new T-shirt.
Like
It's all
hot
the way
jelly.
down.
Wait. Like hot jelly. Like hot jelly. Like hot jelly.
Oh, okay.
Take the obligation. Come on.
All right, fine.
Yes.
It's not getting hotter the more you say it. It's not
I
getting
feel
more
dirty.
Like hot jelly.
Jelly.
You
Is hot
enjoy
jelly a
it.
cum reference or a lube
It
reference?
feels like hot jelly. It's
Like
it's a cum reference.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's jizz. It's
Nobody
hot
really
jelly.
has like.
It's
Does
like hot
anyone
jelly.
warm their lube?
I mean, seriously, you could spread it with a. Never
Dan,
mind.
stop revealing things about yourself.
I thought the
Alright.
Santorum was hot jelly, Dan.
No.
Semen is hot
Well,
jelly. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, we have another drinking
Willow
obligation from
ended up-
chat.
Willow's here. Thank you. All right,
Willow's
sorry.
here.
Ryan, so go back.
You just missed.
Hey, Willow.
What are you doing to me? Okay.
Oh no, I have to. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm
Okay.
turning off this.
Well, yeah. Gosh, no regards.
That's a good one.
That's a good
That's
one.
amazing.
I love it. This is so great.
Woo.
It tastes like jelly. I mean,
Beach,
I-
why not
No.
marmalade? Because
It
that's
does
not
not
what Robert
taste
Jordan.
like-
We're only taking stuff that Robert Jordan writes. Yeah.
So I got to bring this up now because it happens later. I forget what chapter it happens in, but we see compulsion be used by Cad Swain. Where on Min, where Min is like, I'll see if I can find it. I'll find it in a second.
in the last.
No.
chapter?
This is the last chapter, right?
Last chapter.
Oh.
Well, not the last for me because I read 27 like we had agreed.
Okay.
But in 36, Josh. Okay, so technically,
36.
wow.
But it did make me wonder after reading that whether Elida was compulsed by Albiarin during that phrase.
Okay.
How does compulsion work? Is it a permanent thing, Josh?
I don't.
No, I don't think so. I think it comes and goes. Do you think? Sorry, you asked Josh.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so used to just saying Josh after every question. I'm not excluding you. It's a habit to just say Josh. Yeah.
It's
KayK
okay.
too.
Okay.
Please.
It's all right.
Reader?
I thought, maybe specifically this is, for him because I just think it comes and goes. It looks like it just comes and goes to me. It doesn't seem like.
Then think about.
a permanent thing.
I'm sorry, Kay. Think
Like
about.
they need it when they need it. They use it when they need it, and then it kind of just goes away. I don't know. That's what I kind of saw.
That's how I think too. But then I think about the performers, Grendel's performers, and her like sex slaves and.
Mm-hmm. I think it can
all
be like everlasting. I feel like they can hold on to compulsion as long as they like need to, because you're right.
You
They
can
have-
tie off, or like,
What?
is it something? Is it like a spell that you can tie off, like a weave that you can tie off and it stays, or is it something different? Is it done? Is it a spell done with the one power, or is it something different?
That's a good question. We know with Grendel, Samael himself or Ravine thought, Grendel uses compulsion like a freaking sledgehammer. She just compulses the fuck out of brains. So we don't know if that's just like this permanent boom. Someone is just like, just all gaga over her like permanently or not. But that's a good question whether you can.
Yeah, like how often does she have to like refresh their prescription?
We also Mogideon.
Oh, Daniel Lou's asking. Yeah.
Hey, Dan Lou.
Hi, Dan Lou.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're like, just postulating.
Right.
Like how is it that Grendel can have like these slaves that are seem forever compulsed, and
well, you also
this is
remember,
like
Ryan, the beginning in Tel'aran'rhiod says, "Hey, Nynaeve, every time I come in here, you're going to be my horse, and I'm going to ride you, and you have no say over that," which to a certain degree might be compulsion as well. Which I don't know if it's permanently applied or if it's like just done one time, Sally, right? One time.
I think there are different levels of it. Like, like we were saying, like I think they use it when they need it. They could use it for a short amount of time for like, just a couple of little things like intermittently, which is how I feel Cad Swain is kind of doing. She just intermittently is like, making Min do something specific and having somebody else do something else specific that she really needs done. Just to have her way, because she's so old and wise, she could probably like turn it off and on really quickly without people even noticing that that's what's happened to them. And then all can like hold on to it for a very long time and just, I'm frozen again, huh?
No, you're not. We're listening. Oh, you might have been.
But yeah,
so
like
Secret Scroll says it's like a charm spell. So it seems like that might be permanent.
Yeah.
So can you be put back once you've been compulsed? I mean, that's an interesting question too, right? Like,
or actually, yeah, here's a good, or is compulsion. Yeah,
alters your.
Hi, Dennis.
Maybe she tried and she failed. That's a good point. Maybe she tried and failed. Because we got to remember, right after that, Egwene, not Egwene, Elida goes to Cian and puts her on.
Why is Leanne being mentioned here?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I got confused. Maybe I thought he did.
So we do have Josh. We do have to this point. So it says the weaker compulsion is, the more a person can work their mind out of it, and we do have Morghese kind of busting out of a compulsion. So we don't know if that's something that he was constantly doing, or if he just like just did it once and then would just like.
Well, yeah, Morghese broke out of it. Yeah, through distance and like. Yeah, like she's probably wouldn't be Ravine's slave, right? Yeah, we did learn that, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is. It's like you got to be dosed with it, otherwise it lingers or it dwindles.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else with this? I mean,
how does compulsion relate also to the Korasuvra? Is something I know that we've talked about briefly, but
well,
we can't hear you, Kay.
Karma Sutra, did you just read, how does that relate to Karma Sutra?
Karma Sutra.
The Korasuvra, the soul, not the Kama Sutra.
Dan's doing some Karma Sutra for us now.
Compulsing into some Karma Sutra.
Some tantric magic.
That is legit what I heard. Continue, Josh. What?
I was just saying that the soul cage, the Korasuvra, where Moghedien's soul is trapped.
You remember the mind trap with Morghese? Oh, she's busy. She's busy.
No, keep going. Yeah.
The mind trap.
Poke her with your hair bun.
Well, we're just giving a little swirl.
Okay. All right. How do I put that away?
That's a good point. Or maybe it's like one compulsor with the same amount of skill will have different results on different people based on their susceptibility. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Okay.
Anything else in this chapter?
I got a question. Brother Dan,
we learn a little. She goes into the red Aja. They're like, oh, some fucking lights here. Oh, that's fun. She goes in. She's like, yeah, I used to be friends with her. I'd like to keep being friends. Knock, knock, knock. Pavara's like, yay, you're the best. I haven't seen you in so long. She's like, I know. I'm sorry. She's like, yeah, me too. Let's be best friends. She's like, listen, hey, I got to try and I'm trying to find Black Aja. She's like, oh, snap. Okay, I got you, girl. I'm your ride or die. She's like, thank you so much. That's it.
I liked this interaction with them. It was nice. So it's like, hey, we got bigger fish to fry. Let bygones be bygones. Move on. Like if every situation could be like that, maybe not 20 years later or whatever they're dealing with here, but like, wouldn't that be nice? It's just I like that.
Sand has a good idea. She's like,
okay. That's
all
good
right.
to know. Yeah,
She's
right.
like,
It has to be done over the rent.
She's like, listen. Here's the deal with the Black Aja. They got to be able to lie, right? We can't lie. I can't lie. I can't say you look hot right now because you don't. You look plump.
Yeah,
Not even pleasantly plump.
But you're pretty in your plump way. But she goes, quote, if any sister wrote that she did one thing when we can prove she did another, ipso facto, she's a dark friend. Done. We just have to read all their diary stuff and look if they did it, I guess.
Right?
Done.
So I just had an out there realization, maybe, which is, could it be that the other Korosuvra around Mordin's neck is Padan Fane?
Ooh.
We never did find out what it meant to be made the Shadow's Hound or whatever.
Or to get distilled,
but could that be something done with the Korosuvra? And what would that mean if, how would that even work? It's very unlikely that this would be true, but
Brother Dan, you're getting a nice compliment here. You look so hot, Dan.
Lies. I like how. Look at. Hold on, because I just.
Well, that's actually a very good question because did Padan Fane? He was brought to Shao Gul, right?
He was. Like if you read the story, everything Padan Fane does through that lens, where he thinks he's now like an independent contractor. The dude is like, they can't control me. I mean, he obviously has no idea what was done if it was done to him. But
no one's the boss of me.
no one's a boss of me. Torturing fucking shadow.
I learned it from watching you.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah.
Oh, this is a funny. So
there was a question. Oh, go ahead. Right?
Oh yeah. So Noman Garden, does Fane even have his soul left? Beej says, I'd say he has at least two.
He has at least two.
Yeah, one of them fully distilled. The other one is like,
oh, shots fired, guys! Shots fired. She's calling what you guys have on your head hats. Give it to her.
What is happening? Those are beanies.
Wow, silent descent. I thought that was going to create a riot. Apparently, they're afraid of you, Willow. They're afraid of you, Willow. Anybody else, they would have just ripped you a new one.
Ryan, a callback. Violet will definitely learn it from watching. I learned it from watching Twatcast. All right.
Oh wait, is a beanie a hat? Okay, this is a very good discussion. I say no.
Yeah.
No, a hat's a hat. A beanie's a beanie. Yeah.
Huh. I tend to want to agree with Willow on this one because, us bitches got to stick together.
I don't know, Kay, that's a cool hat you have on. Ryan, is that a hat? No, it has to cover the whole top.
It's a cool
tiara. Should I wear it more forward?
Nice.
Would you call a burqa a hat?
Burqa.
Come on.
This is my MaTsDaGger crown.
I think it's more like a
DeeTee
Jedi
does.
robe.
It's a gray area, right? It's not a sharp line. There's no hat, not hat. It's like a gradation between crown to toboggan, right?
Okay. No, you're like saying a hot dog is a sausage. It's not.
It is. Hot dog is a type of sausage. In
The multi-facing.
Okay. I don't. Okay. So the silent. Okay. The phylum. The phylum is hats, and the okay. The genus is beanies. All right. Fuck off.
Oh dear, my
Venus
forehead.
beanie.
All right. This is pole material. I'm pissed now.
Oh Jesus!
And it's in the toque family. Right.
Piece of paper over your head.
Canadians call these hats toques. All right, guys. Chapter 33 is called A Bath. It's a Rand chapter.
Yeah.
Rand's having bad dreams.
Kidding.
He's like, dreams suck. Dreams suck. Quote, he came in fitful snatches.
Okay. Jesus. Yes.
All right,
I can't do the poll and then.
Never would have found that. You know what's weird? I have not been noticing drinking obligations. Like, I don't even notice them. Well, rarely do I.
Right, we
Well,
gotta
you-
figure out a poll too. We'll figure out one. And
Oh, no, yeah.
hot dog is a bad sausage. Yeah.
Bad sausage.
No, I've got it. I got it.
That's a good band name.
Okay.
Sausage.
Bad sausage. And by good, I mean terrible.
He doesn't wash it off. He rubs it in.
He integrates it into himself.
Well,
So Rand, he's having bad dreams. He came in fitful snatches, and he wakes up. He's having a bad day. So essentially, he's like being mopey. He's like, God damn it! I just well, and all right. So let's talk somewhat delicately. He thinks that he has been very inappropriate with his friend. And this is that seems to be weighing on him, is the fact that he thinks that he took advantage of her in a time where he shouldn't have. And so when Min finally shows up 4 days later, he hasn't bathed. He's just wearing the same scummy clothes. He's a dirtbag. He's so dude. Look at this.
he's a dirty
stinky
boy.
ass Rand with a stinky ass butt. And dude, wash your pits, dude. Wash your pits. So he's all dude, skanky ass dragon with your scaly ass butt and your flaky ass pubes.
Pits and your crusty cock.
Your crusty cock. Your crusty min cock.
Your crusty min cock.
We have a poll, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
What is it?
Go. You got to go vote.
I'm curious.
What is live? What is it?
Dude, of course. Oh, people have said no. Interesting. Okay.
Yes, I say no.
That's
I
least
don't even
interesting.
see the poll, but I'm
All right.
on it. I'm
It'll be
trying
live. Yeah, you guys, you can change your vote. I'm seeing it happen right now. Guys, go back in there, change your vote to no. I've not won one poll yet. Apparently,
you change your vote.
Yeah, I'm seeing votes get changed.
So we after like 4 days, he gets up and Min is like hanging out there, and he's like, fuck, you're the one. Hey, Min, I'm really sorry. I was such a good lay. God, I was so fantastic.
I rocked your world
fucking
so
world,
hard, and I'm
really
so
badly.
sorry.
I am so good in bed right now, and I feel so terrible. And Min's all, hold on.
But he's also like, and I want to do it again, and that's all I can think about
like,
is doing it again.
God.
But I fucked up so hard.
Right, and so when he
I
sees
should for that,
Min,
but I have to wait till after this battle because I already made that obligation before that happened. So I will kill myself after the battle. Okay.
okay, to your point, He says when he staggered into the anteroom, at first he thought he was dreaming again. The dream that always woke him straight off in shame and guilt and loathing. But Min looked up from his tall gilded chairs with their big eyes. But he has these dreams. He has these sex dreams, and it's quote shame and guilt and loathing.
Mm-hmm.
Rand needs a therapist
and horniness, which is definitely yes, he needs a therapist.
Well, yeah, no, it's
for
like
many reasons.
No, like he has wet dreams, and he's like all cry over it. He's like, oh God, the shame, the shame.
Is it cry wink?
The shame.
Is that the classic cry wink?
He's humping a pillow.
Okay,
Willow,
okay.
Willow, your kindness is only surpassed by your amazing beauty.
Brother Dan, we just learned something from chat. Someone asked, when's the first episode dropping? And Dan Lou says 8 p.m. Eastern, September 1st.
September 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern. Huh. September 1st, that's a Thursday or a Friday?
September 1st.
It's
the 15th today, so that's just exciting.
Yes, so exciting.
That's very, very, very soon.
All right. Yeah, it's like 2.5 weeks. That's awesome.
I'm looking right now. It is on Friday. It's on a Friday.
Min is pretty awesome here. Min is like, yo, bitch. What? How dare you? How dare you insult me by thinking I'm some sort of harlot that just took it? I ripped your shirt off too. You are insulting my taste. You're insulting my actions. You're insulting my behavior and my very being. Knock it off.
And my self-respect, goddammit, I can make my own choice. If
I have agency.
And if I don't, you'll know it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Slander my wits, my taste, my. And he's like, "Hey, you keep talking like that, I'm going to spank your bottom."
Okay. I really want to know what you guys' thoughts on it.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, shut the fuck up! I'm going to spank you. Hey, don't make me do it. Do not."
He's only ever slept with two. We find out she was a virgin. This is the second cherry he's popped.
Yes.
I mean, he's going to be really good when he finally has sex with Elaine, hopefully.
Ooh, big prediction.
Well, third time the charm, I guess.
Yeah, he'll finally get over the humps.
So would Elaine want her ribs?
He'll get into humps.
Well,
Not be so rocky about it.
This is the first we see of the sex outlook that is portrayed in the TV show.
Yeah,
well, Thailand as well. But this is the first time we get a not like from our main characters that we have them like closely encounter. Matt and Rand here closely encountering like a non-puritanical worldview about sex.
Well,
I like that. Yes, she's like, yeah, and Rand
very
is,
like 1970s.
Rand is the one who is exhibiting the white knight behavior, and she is putting him in his place and saying, "No, don't do that to me. In fact, it demeans me."
Right.
Yeah, good point. We do have a couple obligations here. Quote: "He jerked the hand." Whenever Kay does a little grunt, you're like, all right.
Yep, you got it.
Another one. Of course her tongue had to have its bit too. Of course her tongue had to have its bit too.
Huh.
Like a ball gag?
No, her tongue had to have its bit. Also,
a bit's what you put in a horse's mouth.
A little bit. No, her tongue had to have a little bit too.
No, not a little tip.
Her tongue had to have a bit too.
The tongue needed a bit.
I'm drinking to it. If anyone wants to join me, it would be appreciated and
Cheers,
warranted and obligated.
Cheers, man.
God damn it! But I would
roll the drink.
Roll that
gift.
footage.
Roll that drunk bitch. I'm up here.
So she pretty much. So this is a little weird. He does say, "I'm going to spank your bottom." It says, quote, let me read this just right out. He raised his right hand and studied the flat of his palm where the branded heron stood clear, then looked at her. She eyed his hand warily and shifted herself on his knees, then conspicuously ignored everything except his face. So was he holding up his hand like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to. Like staring at his hand, like, oh yeah. She's then looking at Min.
What did the hand say to the face?
Did he raise his hand like to hit her? Is this what I'm? Is this what I'm reading?
So. Is that what you're reading? I don't know.
I don't know. He
I
says,
don't feel like
"I swear I'll smack your bottom." And she says, "Don't ever whine, Rand. You're no good at it. You want sense? I love you, and I will not go." Blah blah blah. And he raised his right hand and studied the flat of his palm, which I'm not. I don't understand what happened here.
Maybe he did that, and then she sits on his lap, right? So maybe it's more of like a head. Oh.
She's already on his lap, I think, right then.
Oh.
Yeah, she's giving him a lap dance. She's like, "Hey."
Well, he's threatening to spank her.
Yeah, and he has these like Bija's saying, he has these like branded palms. That's like, they're like weapons,
right?
His branded palms are ribbed for his pleasure.
For his pleasure.
Ribbed.
Yep.
Drink.
All right, so Min's like, "Don't spank me," and instead listen to what Barrelane wants. Barrelane says you're ignoring the sea folk. They really want to talk to you. They keep texting you, and you just like are ghosting them. This is pretty bullshit, Rand. You should probably talk to him. He's like, fine. He's like, you know what? I ain't got shit to do all day. I'll go fucking deal with your sea folk, okay? Let's go. And apparently that's a big deal because then there's drummers, there's trumpets, there's maidens, there's Tyrion, there's Kyrian, there's freaking, there's so many people around.
Have they been waiting for him?
Man,
were they all there? Have they all just been waiting there for weeks?
Yeah, they're just waiting. Like the drummers are just sitting there, like you just hear Ryan, you just hear like this,
already in uniform
as they're just playing on seats, like just
It's like the school carnival gets built and you're excited and you can't get, like they're all the workers are waiting and no one's arriving.
They're just bored. Yeah, they're just doing drum stuff with their drumsticks.
You're really the
look at us. We look like playing cards.
Playing cards.
And then finally he's like, fuck it, yeah, let's go. We're going to the boat. They go to a boat. This boat, everyone gets on the freaking boat. The drummers, the trumpets, they're going across the water. The drummer and trumpets are like, here we come now. Here we come.
Are they the Mighty Mighty Bosstones?
Yeah, no, that's a trombone, right?
Oh,
okay.
Well,
No, it's going through a trumpet, and trombone.
oh no. We're actively losing viewers.
But before that, so he takes a bath. The IEL scrub him down. Scrub his cock, they're scrubbing his taint, they're rubbing his butthole, they're just like going to town. They're like, wait a minute, what'd you eat yesterday? Dig. Hey, I found it. They're getting him clean, scrubbing his hair, washing his back. Miz just watching the whole thing, and then at the end, she's holding a towel. She's like 12 feet away. She's like, all right, here's your towel. Hey, here's your towel. Here's your towel. Come on over. Come on, get it. Come and get it. He's like, splat, 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 splat.
So how different is that, the maidens and the housekeepers in Thailand? Like, is it different? Are the maidens and men treating Rand this way different than the way the maids are treating Matt in Thailand's castle?
Interesting. Yeah, there's like some parallels there.
I guess you haven't read the chapter where it's the Matt POV at the end, but it did make me wonder. Like, there's a little bit of like, it's not nearly as spelled out, but it's kind of similar.
Yeah, they are witness to this and see it as a joke, whereas the man is more humiliated and emasculated by the whole thing. And all the women.
So are 12 women coming and pushing you into Thailand's better, right?
Which, yeah, no, I'm equating it with you. So when he went and tried to get food, and she's like, "Oh no, she'll be eating duckling pretty soon. Nom nom nom, gobble gobble." Yeah, it is very similar. Where these women are, they see the discomfort that it is being put on this person. Mm-hmm. And are leaning into it as opposed to trying to alleviate it.
Right.
Yeah. Chapter 34 is called TAVERN. This is right after Rand finishes his bath. Is there anything I missed in 33 that you want to touch on? They're pretty much 10 minutes apart. Chapters.
Yeah, I don't think so. I did love the line about Midnight say she's as pretty as you, but how can you compare two sunrises?
That's a good one. That's a good, and he didn't even know how corny suave he was.
Yeah.
There are a couple of really good lines, actually, that Rand says to Min, and I wish that I had found my book and underlined them, because there was another one. Ryan, do you remember that?
I'm not crazy, and it's because of you I know this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because of the viewing that Min sees of Rand, and I think that's in the next chapter.
Yeah. We jumped ahead.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, it's the first time we really see him understanding that the three of them love him and want to share it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The line "Come and get dry, Rand" is pretty fucking sexy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. But we see the seed getting planted here of his polyamory.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh Jesus! Drink on that one. Planting seeds.
Well, and so this is interesting. Min is trying to compare it to the IEO customs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Rand does not seem to agree with that comparison. Do you think that Min has it more correct or Rand? Is the way that Aviendha, Elaine, and Min with Rand, is that going to more or less be successful if it mimics what Ruark has, I guess, or Bale?
Yeah.
Successful?
I think so. I think we've already seen Elaine being turned to IEO customs with the Giotto. Right. And even Nynaeve keeps calling it out like, oh, that bitch, she's, turning culturally. I don't really understand this Giotto stuff. So I think that's the way. And I mean, Rand is culturally Aiel, and he's been through Meridian. He's technically a clan chief. So probably. What do you think, Kay?
I mean, I think so, but I'm a little bit confused as far as like the question, as far as the relationship that Rand has with these three women. Are they going to be? Is it going to help him to be more powerful, or like is it just going to work out for all three of them, or four of them? I guess I wasn't sure about the question.
Well, I mean, I guess the way that Min is equating it is through the way that the IEL navigate this system, and I guess is that the only? I guess that's the only template we really have for this sort of polyamorous situation. I'm not sure. I mean, so I'm not sure what my question is, I guess.
Well, we haven't seen it anywhere else that I know of, and at least in what I've thought about it is that it could certainly, I think they're all three coming together. The women are coming together for Rand for reasons, and I don't know what those are, but I think that it's going to, reveal itself at some point, like, or maybe it's just, like kind of where he's needed them each to be at certain times already. And I think he'll be more powerful because he has three incredibly powerful women that all have very different backgrounds and different skill sets and complement each other. So I think it them like being in love with him could really be a very good thing. I don't see why it wouldn't be, and they all have to be, in agreement. So that's good.
So, Kate, to that point, we know that Rand, he's like, I use everything. I use all my friends. I'm just this asshole who just uses things. Are these three women? Will they just essentially be tools for him to use in his path? What do you guys think? I mean, yes.
Yeah, tools definitely, but more like assets, I would say.
Ooh, I like that, yeah.
And not like a tool to be used, but just an asset to his journey and what he's trying to accomplish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're co-pilots. I think they're ultimately co-pilots.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And not.
Min certainly seems to be right now more than ever, or like more than anyone has been.
Do you think amongst the three of them, do they benefit from the relationship with each other?
Yes.
With each other? The other women?
Yeah, I think we've already seen it with Elaine and Min, and we've already seen it with Elaine and Avienda, that they share something different or different at least than the relationships that other women have, particularly like we see it from Nynaeve's perspective. She's like, oh, you guys have something going on.
So what as of right now, what does Rand get from each woman individually? Hi, Sinan.
Hi, Sin.
Sin. Drunk check. Yeah, Andrel's here. Man, the band's all back together, right?
I know. Andrel's like getting ready. He's brushing his teeth. He's doing his push-ups.
Remember when Andrel would make fun of us when we had like 6 people?
Yeah, look at us now.
Look at us now, Andrel. We have 21.
I think we had like 2, but yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you got 2 people watching, and I'm one. What specifically does Avienda bring that the maidens don't provide? What specifically does Elaine give that any random ruler like Barrelane does not provide?
I mean,
what do you think?
They're sadly kind of like arranged marriages. Like, think of it this way. The vector of power of Avienda is to the wise women. And she's his conduit to Aiel culture. She trained him literally in Aiel culture.
Uh-huh.
Right? On the other side, you have Elaine, the Queen of Andor, the land that the Two Rivers is in, that he originates from, and that Perrin is now the Lord. Right? It's like she's the Western power, right? Like Avienda represents like the Eastern power, and then
the Min.
Have Min, who's there clearly for her viewings.
And she's kind of like.
And that sweet Bridget's ass.
Well, yeah, and also just the fact that she has an ability that lies outside of things people have seen before. She's the new type of being or whatever, something that hasn't typically come around. Her viewings, right? They're not the one power. They're true. It's not something she can control. No one understands what it is. It's connected to the pattern somehow. So of course she ends up in proximity to the Dragon Reborn. Sorry, Kay, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I was interrupting you, so I wanted you to finish. But
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if you saw anything that any random IEO could have provided, or any, right.
I mean, we see this like gumption though that Elaine also has. So I think she's just like,
right,
because she's had to come into her own, and she's gone through so many different things. So far it's just been a lot, and she's overcome a lot and seen a lot, and she's kind of worldly at this point, and she's also.
Come on.
Yeah. Come into her own a lot. Come into her own. I guess that's also a direct application. Yeah. And I think she's just she's like got that power behind her, she's ready to make shit happen.
Totally.
Things that she's been told as how to rule, how to be a ruler, how to be the queen. She's using those things to her advantage. It's cool to see.
Right. And all these kids are like freshmen in college age.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that'll help Rand, I think, too. Yeah.
I mean, like, where are we at now? 20? How old are our boys right now? They were all 20.
This is a question that Wadaholic Aussie should be able to answer.
or Noma Gardner or Dana Lou or a bunch of. I think they're about 20 right now.
I think they're 22. I want to say 22.
Elaine?
I think Elaine.
No, that is. Oh no, I'm talking
19 or 18.
Avienda's like 19. Elaine's probably 18. Min is probably 21.
They're so young.
They're all so
going through this shit.
So young. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so chapter 34 is called TAVERN or TAVERN. How do you say it, Josh?
TAVERN.
How do you say it, Kay?
TAVERN.
Okay, TAVERN. It's a Rand chapter. Rand's like, all right, let's go. All right, let's get all the fucking people coming. They all get on the boat. There's a big party of people. They're like, Randall Thor. He's like, yeah. He throws up a fist. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, Rand heard me. I think he pointed at me. He's awesome. He gets down to the docks. They take a boat over. He floats a magic air bridge. He's like, come on, men. Everyone else, stay back. Only Min and I are walking up this
air bridge.
Air bridge to heaven.
Well, we did miss one thing, which is that Min's vision shows him merging with Luz Theron. He interprets it. I just thought that was...
Can you read that passage? Do you have it right there?
Yeah. I'm grinning because you've given me very good news, he said, touching her cheek. The other man had to be Luz Theron. I'm not just insane in hearing voices, he thought jubilantly. One lived and one died, but he had known for a long time that he was going to die. At least he was not mad, or not as mad as he had feared. There was still the temper he could barely control. You see,
Yeah, and this comes from where her viewing.
Right.
Where it says, There's only one really. I was exaggerating. I saw you and another man. I couldn't make out either the face, but I knew one was you. You touched and seemed to merge into one another, and her mouth tightened. And she's like, I don't know what it means, Rand, except one of you dies and one of you doesn't. Why are you grinning? This isn't a joke. I don't know which one of you dies. And he says, I'm grinning because you've given me very good news. And he's like, the other man had to be Luce Theron.
Yeah.
So, yep, we do get that. This is the first time that Min lets him know about this, but apparently she's been seeing it.
Right. For a while.
Yep. And then she's like, come and get dry, Rand. Hubba, hubba, hubba. That's such a sexy
Here's
line.
your washcloth to dry off with.
It's the weirdest.
A little wet nap.
I thought it was like a diver on the Olympics, just their little hand towel.
A little chamois.
Yeah.
Are those like those
ShamWow.
sponges that like blow up when they get wet? Those towels are small and then they get wet and they go.
They just
I don't know. So
Ryan for my wedding got me something called cloud furniture that came in a box that was like this beanbag chair that expanded like about 10 times the size of the box it came in. It was so great.
It was nuts.
It was
that's
cool.
amazing.
Cloud furniture, I think it's called.
Ryan gets good gifts.
So they're all writing to they're writing to the docks. Varen is not around. Varen is studying some shit. Karuna is not around. Karuna's they said that Karuna is doing some matter of protocol. She says is consulting with Sarah Lana on a matter of protocol, but I'm certain she will be more than happy to join us if you send a personal summons to Soralea. So Soralea was giving her the paddle, the slipper, I guess.
Mhm.
Maybe giving her a slipper. Maybe making love to her. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. They get down to the dock, get to the boat, walk on the floaty bridge. He's like, "Hi, I'm Randall Thor. I'm your Cormor."
More.
They're like, "Oh yeah, well, hi, I'm Hareen."
About that.
Tunes." She's like, I speak for everyone. She's like, "Yeah, I heard." She's like, "Yeah, I know you're the Cormor. Come on board." And then they're like, "Oh, why did I say that? This is all about bargaining, and I just spilled the beans that I know that you're the Cormor. That fucking sucks." And she keeps saying a couple things and is like, "What are you doing?" I said, and they're like, "Hey man, you're talking to TAVERN. This shit's gonna happen." They go to talk about the bargain. Rand goes down into the cabin. He's very claustrophobic. Starts getting PTSD. He eventually is like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Rips the chair apart, and he's like, "I can't deal with this. You deal with them. I'm the Cormor. You're gonna follow me. That's that. Bye." And that's pretty much what happens. They're like, "Hey, no, you gotta hang out." He's like, "No, I don't. You got this. You're a gray." He said, "I like this. You're a gray Aja," he told her harshly.
Yeah.
"Negotiate. Does Shiva come with me?"
Yeah. He's all, I'm feeling.
Is that a drink obligation?
I'm going to exit the
Come with me.
situation.
Does Shiva come with me?
Yes.
Yes, it is. You wise man, you.
He startles because he's.
And then at the end, Rand is like, "Man, I'm in a fucking good mood. My TAVERN shit is rolling.
It is
my
not
TAVERN shit normally doesn't roll, but it's rolling." He's like, "Man, you
I
want
could do all
let's go
things."
settle these rebels." He's like, "I'll bet you 1,000 crowns for a kiss, that which is prostitution." He's like, "I'll bet you 1,000 crowns for a kiss that I get these bitches in my hand by the sundown." I don't want to show. What it is? All right, so that's pretty much
Rand,
what that.
Rand is pretty destructive to property in these few chapters. He like rips the arm.
What was that about? And like no one responds.
No one responds, and then he crushes a silver goblet, just like
He crushes the silver goblet. Yeah. So good. Yeah. He's
no
got
one says
wine all
anything.
over his sleeve.
I know he's an angsty little.
He's got
The Aes Sedai were pretty crafty. They're like, well, if Min can see the future, she just told you. She told Hareen that she's going to be like the president of the Sea Folk.
yeah.
And she's like, hey, if Min said that you're going to get punished, that means you're going to agree to all our shit. So we just say yes.
Right.
Pretty crafty. I like that.
I like that we learn here the other side of the Sanchin taking over the Aranth Ocean. Some dark evil has descended upon the Aranth Ocean. No ship of ours has come from there in many months. Ship that sail west vanish.
Right. He pretty much tells the sea folk, he's like, listen, I don't want much. If I need to move shit on your boats, you give them.
Yeah.
I need you to check it. Just tell me what's going on, like over there by Aradoma. And actually on the other side of the Aranth Ocean, they're like, what's going on west? And they're like, oh, shit. And we find out that they call the Shanshin, they call the Isle of the Dead, or the Islands of the Dead, which is, ominous.
Unfortunate.
A little creepy.
I like that he intuits also that it's dangerous to be on a ship when Nynaeve had just gotten attacked on her ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I didn't pick up on that.
The ship mid-river was a vulnerable place to be if one of the Forsaken decided to strike. It's literally what happened.
Yeah, you're right.
How does he know that? How does he intuit that?
Beej. I'm so stoked.
Pattern echo. What do you echoes in the pattern? Wakes in the pattern.
Who doesn't like some early morning currents, right? We jumped to chapter 35. Which is pretty much a continuation from the last chapter. It's a Min point of view, though. It has the opposite of the whale bluebee. It's going up. Dragon's Fang, is that what it's called?
Oh, that just reminded me. I love the mention way back in the first chapter we were talking about, 32, where the Cian is walking through and she notes that the red flame of Tar-Valon could very easily look like a dragon fang. And that prompted her to think about the connection with the Reds and the false dragons.
Right. The red sashes on their sleeves or something.
Yeah, well, it's the red flame of Tar-Valon, yeah. Let's see, it's here. She felt like an invader in enemy territory. She crossed those peculiar floor tiles, white with a teardrop of Tar-Valon and red, of the flame of Tar-Valon and red. But then any part of the tower might be enemy country. Looking another way, those scarlet flames might be taken for red dragon fangs. She never believed those irrational tales about the Reds and the false dragons, but any of them deny it. So it's just... You mentioned the dragon fang again, so...
Yeah. And that just gives me like this weird, like almost sorority feeling or something where it's like they live in the same dorm.
Are their hand towels embroidered with it as well?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's jump into the woods. It's the Min POV. I
was so excited about a Min POV. Sorry.
No, fine. She starts off pervy. She's like, she's checking out Rand. Rand's like throwing stuff out of his closet. But
Oh, one last thing to mention. He does mention the Horn of Belair here.
Oh, right.
Which seems just important to note.
And the fact that he's not really sure where it's at. He's like, is it at the White Tower?
I knew it had been taken there, he says, but is it still there? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we know if it's still there? As of right now, we haven't heard anything, right?
Presumably.
Yeah. Okay. So Min being pervy with Rand. Quote, he has very good legs and marvelous calves, shown off well in dark, close-fitting breeches with his boots turned down. He's got the apple-bottom jeans with the boots turned down, with the fur.
And the whole crowd's looking at.
Rand goes low, 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 low.
Yeah.
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 She reminisces about a viewing that she continually sees around Rand. It says, quote, that one viewing came and went 100 times a day, and whenever Matt or Perrin were present, it encompassed them too, and sometimes others. A vast shadow lurked over him, swallowing up thousands upon thousands of tiny lights like fireflies that hurled themselves into it in an attempt to fill up the darkness. Today, there seemed to be countless tens of thousands of fireflies. The shadow seemed larger, too. Somehow that viewing represented his battle with the shadow, but he almost never wanted to know how it stood. It says the shadow always seemed to be winning to one degree or another. Did that stand out to you guys at all? And if so, why?
I remember this part.
It's a shadow gobbling at these thousands and thousands of firefly things. I mean, what is this?
I know what it made me think of.
What?
The interstitial space between the dream world and the real world.
Okay.
Like a bunch of dreams swarming. Kind of like what happened with Egwene and Gawain.
Right.
But that was just one dream in one dream. Imagine that happening on a massive scale. That's what made me think of. I'm sure I'm totally like off base, but
so what does this shadow represent? Is the shadow Rand and all these innocent souls like coming
either
to
winking
him?
out of the dream or dying or all coming to his dream?
Huh.
Okay.
You don't think it's like just the is the shadow like the dark side of some kind, right?
Yeah, it could just be that the shadow is consuming that interstitial space. I don't know. It can also be way more symbolic and less representational.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking that too just now. Like a shadow lurking over him, swallowing up thousands upon thousands of tiny lights like fireflies that hurl themselves into an attempt to fill up the darkness.
See, it's hurling themselves into him. That's what made me think it would be like a bunch of people in love with, like, as if the Dragon Reborn. Because when they talk about the dream falling in, they describe it as fireflies. That's how Elaine and the Dreamwalkers describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Egwene and the Dreamwalkers describe
Right.
it. When we see it with Perrin earlier in the Wolf Dream, it looks different. It's like a plane of square windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's even the same place, which I assume that it is. But the rushing into him made me think of like a bunch of dreams swarming and that looking like it's becoming black because they're all moving towards, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, this is just what it made
Maybe
me think.
it is more representative. Maybe it is more like a metaphor, like I don't know, representative of like, or maybe it's both, and it's also just representing the, the light side of the people going into the dark, shadowy side of people and battling and having a big battle and trying to, I don't know, change one side or the other kind of thing, right? It's kind of just symbolic of all of that. The shadow always 1 degree or another, because it just kind of does seem like that too so far, right? Like the shadow kind of, I mean, like the dark side of things, like dark friends, and they're always kind of like 1 step ahead. So, I don't know.
Nice.
No, I like
Nice.
it. I do like it. And it seems that whenever the TAVERN are around, it gets stronger. There's more fireflies and there's more suckage. But again, she says the shadow seems to always be winning. We just don't know what the shadow necessarily represents. Let's see. We learned that men has adapted the term comfort to mean fuck.
Yeah. Let's comfort each other again.
Yeah. Do you want to comfort one another again? Yeah. Or wouldn't you rather comfort me again?
Yeah. Comforting.
Right.
Where'd that idea ever come from? She wondered silently.
Right. So here it says she starts talking about her aunts. They had strong notions of proper behavior. It says, quote, they disapproved of her working in stables, the job she loved best, since it brought her into contact with horses. All right. So where my mind went was, all right, her aunts were prudes. Horses have big dongs, and they didn't want men to see big horse dicks.
Huh.
Why else would they care about contact with horses?
Stables are for the best.
I didn't read
contact with horses.
Big dongs.
I didn't read that they had a problem with her working with horses.
Yeah, it says, let me read it again. It says, hold on.
It's because it says since it brought her into contact with horses. I think that's why it implies.
The raised her were gentle, kind women, but they had strong notions of proper behavior. They had disapproved of her wearing breeches, disapproved of her working in stables, the job she loved best, since it brought her in contact with horses.
Yeah,
dude, you are so right.
No, but you're she loved it best because it brought her in contact with horses.
Okay, is that what it is?
Male in this world. That's the problem. It's a male occupation.
Okay, yeah, that's what I read. At first is that is the way that you just explained it, Josh. But then you said it that way, and I'm like, yeah, since, and it could be read either way. It could be interpreted either way. So that's kind of interesting.
Nietzsche had a psychotic break when he was watching a horse get beaten.
Dash instead of a comma then after stables.
Agreed.
Hey, this is a rarity.
If that's indeed what they meant, and they might have meant he may have meant it the other way. And I don't know why. I think they were just really pissed that she looked like she liked to dress like a boy, like a tomboy, and she liked to do man's job, dirty work. She got dirty in the bowls. But she loved it most because she got to be with the horses.
I dig it. They did tell each other they loved each other. They're like, I love you too, more or less ish. And Rand is feeling filled with hubris. He's like, I'm the Dragon Reborn. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Today, the world is my oyster, and I feel like shucking. You know what I mean?
Totally. I love that we get the full premonition here. Through his shirt, she could feel the wound, half-healed scar on his left side. She could recall when he got it as if it were yesterday. That had been the first time she ever held him in her arms while he lay unconscious and near death. And his scar gets hit again, and then she's doing the same thing. in
Yes.
Patton Fane's Mashadar impression.
Right. Well, and we'll get
Nice.
to that.
That is awesome, Josh.
That fog is weird, though. But first, quote, is this, she was ready to leap if he crooked a finger. She just wanted to.
Yeah.
Is that
She just wanted to make sure he never found out. But yes, drinking allegation.
All right, thank you.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Or while we're waiting for Dan to think,
No.
everyone, let's like and subscribe to the channel, or else the ref will be sad.
Rand's like, he's like, hey, you know what? I do this shit all the time. I fucking leave all the time. Don't worry about it. We don't need no stinking maidens. Not where we're going, Maine. And then he takes a pops a gateway, and they're in the woods. They're off near about 7-8 miles from Kyrian, I guess. And he the lady Caroline Damodred walks up. He's like, "Hi, I'm Roniel Thor. I'm the Dragon Reborn. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Huh, guess what? I'm gonna look down on you right now. Can you get lower? I'm gonna stand on this here rock and really look down on you.
Yeah.
Copy.
She's like, "Yeah, I knew you were around because your Tavernus is crazy. Things are going crazy. Everyone's dying around you." And Min's like, "No, balance, balance."
You bypassed the drinking obligation.
Say it, Josh.
I lost it.
No, that's right. So she's like, "I've been reading Harold Fell's books. He's the most dangerous man in Randland. I've been reading his books, and now I'm a bit more dangerous as well."
Oh, here it is. Leaping down to fall to her knees, she merely nodded, pursing her lips.
I was just gonna say, hey, Josh, was this it?
Okay.
Nice.
And to piggyback on that, and swallowed.
What? Where?
I submit to no one.
Where? Who swallowed?
Min.
She would.
Quote, a wife idly patting her husband? That's a stretch.
That's like the most boring. Well, I mean,
No, I mean, they've been married for a while. She's idly patting. She's like, yeah.
Fierce
What
enough
is
to
this?
snatch her?
Say again?
Fierce enough to snatch her?
yes.
All right. All right. You thinking about another beer?
This is really strange. My book says, did he have to sound like a pillow stuffed full of, and it looks like naughty in my book, a pillow stuffed full of naughty? Is that, do you see
Where?
the sentence I'm talking about?
No, where?
It's like the next paragraph under the one that says rather leaping down fall to her knees. It's
Okay.
the next paragraph down. And it's like down towards the bottom. Did he have to sound like a pillow stuffed full of naughty?
Haughty. Haughty.
Oh!
As an age. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how about this? They suddenly came on a knot.
I'll take it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
All right, you better drink. Drink with me, Kay.
I'm eating ice cream tonight instead of, I'm having a sugar high. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Lady Caroline laid her in front of her, running a gloved hand along.
Come on, chat, play along. Grab your books.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Fine
I mean-
innuendo, would you?
Okay, yeah. So balance. Master.
So he finds, yeah. So all the rebels pull up. All the rebels, and they're like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, hey, it's my cousin Tomas and his weird named wife I've never told you about." They're like, "Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's just go back to our secret camp." Boop, 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 boop. He goes back with them. They came on a knot, spearmen. There's a camp spread out. There was a big silk tent, and then, quote, men, she felt Rand stiffen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a good one.
I mean, that's one of his go-tos.
Textbook RJ. Jerky.
This guy, quote, he kept fingering.
Fingering things. Yep.
I mean, guys, I'm just reading what's here. I quote, Min swallowed the lump in her throat and was pleased to see Caroline do the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. My speech. Question mark?
Do the same.
What do you think, guys?
Tatswain's there. There's a guy, Toram, who's there with some dude who they call Ordith? Mordeth. Who's Dad Bane. And
I love how Rand kind of condescends to Darlin, but nonetheless, like Min is attracted to him. He's like a dashing James Bond type figure.
And she normally likes like
Older,
Greg the Animal Steel.
distinguished man.
He's a dashing
George Animal
asshole.
Steel.
George the Animal Steel. Fuck.
Greg Steele's his brother. Greg Steele was the kitten. Greg the Kitten Steele.
A great many women forget his nose for those eyes and that laugh.
His laugh must have been glorious. Min was really turned on by his laugh. She's like,
Dan, can you impersonation right now? How'd you read it in your mind?
Brilliant.
I didn't know. I'd ignore a hatchet nose if it was like, or maybe it was like Santa Claus. It was like,
No. I'm sorry. You needed more notes. No, Brother Dan, you were doing great.
Uh-oh.
You stay with the first laugh, but like a little. We need a less sinister, more jolly. Oh no, you sound like you have an attack of swords.
What are you dying from?
let me do that.
I think it's more boisterous. A deep bass laugh that vibrated. Yes.
I think Min.
Oh, not vibrato?
I think he was like, and Min's like, oh yeah.
Wait, Brother Dan, shut the fuck up, shut up. He just said we both suck. You go. How? Give us a sexy laugh.
You go.
Give us a laugh that would turn Min.
Oh God! You know what, Ryan? That did make my pussy a little wet.
All right, yeah. He said vibrato. I thought he said vibrato.
Yeah.
So,
How long can you go?
little girl.
The Terminator is Dominator.
I think it's less about the actual laugh and more about the self-possession that the laugh asserts.
Oh.
I'm
Yes.
picturing like Ron DeSantis.
Is that how he laughs?
Yeah, have you seen him? He makes his laugh face is outrageous.
No, you know what? Once he told that kid that his ice cream cone had too much sugar in it, I stopped
Like that's a lot of
paying
sugar,
attention.
huh, Patty?
Yeah, no. Once that happened, I was like, oh, he lost. He's lost. He's
Chubby kid. That's a lot of sugar. That's shit. That's a lot of
just
sugar.
yeah,
It's a lot of sugar, little
just
man.
so irrelevant. It's so irrelevant. All right. What is that?
That's Ron DeSantis' face. All right. Chapter 36. Our final chapter is called Blades. Cool sword. Kind of looks
can
like.
I just say one thing before we move on?
Can you say two things, Kay?
Maybe. We'll see if I can get the first one out.
I want
in a
3.
linear way. Okay. Moraine, I think she's alive. I wrote this down in this chapter because Min refers to that vision that she had was the only one that was wrong. And I've just been like, Moraine has to be alive. I'm in denial. I don't want to face it. She's got to be alive. She's somewhere. She's in a different world. She's in Tel'Aran'rhiod, or she's a dark friend, or she's disguised by somebody else, or she's been taken over by the dark friend. Maybe she's been taken over by the dark one, and that makes her seem dead.
Maybe it's Moiraine's Korasuvra.
What?
Oh.
I said maybe it's Moiraine's Korasuvra
Her mind
Okay.
trap.
on Moradin's neck.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I
All right.
think Moraine is alive, just trapped somewhere. And
I think so too. I think she's.
feels
We
dead.
know the Redstone Gateways led to an alternate universe. So why isn't she just trapped there?
Yeah.
She entered breaking one of the 3 rules, which was using the 1 power.
Okay. I forgot about that.
Right?
No, she body slammed her.
No, they were both.
No, she straight tackled her, bro. She tackled her like WWE and threw them both through the. She was uniquely not channeling. Fucking Lanfear was channeling her ass off like a Roman candle, and she just body slammed her through. Hey, real quick, light blind and full. It's a win-win. Just got to get that out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's what this is the way of the leaf. If the
Thank you,
wind
DKmoon.
blows this way, we don't fight it.
Okay.
But I just, more than ever, I'm convinced that she's alive because Min's thinking of her was the only one that was wrong.
Hot take.
Had to say it. Yep. Okay, we can move on now, Dan.
No, that is a good point. She does mention that.
There's no way Moiraine's dead. It's just not. You're not going to write off.
Thank you. Exactly. This is what
I've been
I'm
saying that for months. Yeah,
yeah, this is what I've been saying. I'm totally, yes, 1000%. Moraine is not dead.
All right, guys. I love that you guys think this. It makes me think that the world is good, Ryan.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's cute.
So the chapter
ends paradise where all she does is have sex with
Lanfear?
Wait, what?
Lanfear.
They're just
Yeah. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. Yes, we know that Moraine likes women. We don't know what Lanfear's proclivities are, but hey, maybe Moraine.
I can see Lanfear going.
She doesn't mind a sexual relationship, I don't think.
So they're hey, what's like a pillow in that world? They become. Anyways,
I think that doorway is like the internet, and they dropped right into Pornhub, baby.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe they get to just watch all the weird.
It ends with Toram going, "Hey, you want to pretend to kill each other with play swords?" And Rand's like, "That sounds grand. Let's do that."
yeah.
And Min and everyone's like, "What? Don't, come on, don't." And he's like, "No, fuck it. No, I'm gonna go play with this guy." Chapter 36 is called Blades. It's Min POV, and she's like, Jesus. She's like, they're like, hey, if you think you're thinking about using any of your tricks, there's Aes Sedai over there. And he's like, I'm not gonna use tricks. Don't worry about it. They're like, all right, are you sure he's a blade master? And he's like, oh fuck, he's a blade master? This should be fun. And everyone's like, oh Jesus, Rand. They fight with lathes, bundled sticks, like bamboo swords.
I like the way Min describes the sword fight as a dance. Mm-hmm. She's like, but the way she says it, she's like, because that's all I could think of. That's the only way to describe this. What I'm seeing is a dance, and I just think that's really so true. With, not that I've seen a lot of sword fighting, but like all the sword forms and thing they're all very beautiful. It's beautiful art.
She seems really impressed, maybe even turned on by Rand's performance. Rand is flowing, and she's
all the women are. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Caroline as well.
They're all gushing in their panties. Yes, they are.
Gushing in their panties. Guys.
Yes.
Hashtag
gushing in the panties.
I mean, isn't bundled lades met bundled lades a drinking obligation?
Yeah. Now that you say it, when you say it, Josh, it is. When I say it, it's awkward and.
How about this one? Rand had moved nothing except his sword.
Yep. Yep. We've all done that, right?
Uh huh. That's how I'd raise my hand in high school.
You just move nothing but your sword.
Move nothing but your sword.
Yeah. That's why they're like, Ryan, I didn't even know you were in class.
Yeah. I'm like, oh.
You never participated.
I was raising my hand all the time.
Wow.
So the first iteration here of the repeat is Min is hugging Rand's sword belt and scabbard blade as if they were him during the battle. So that's her first hugging Rand to him. And then he gets hit on the side on his old wound by the practice sword.
Yeah. Wait, was it that side?
Yeah. Yeah, so it says, Toram's blade crashed into Rand's side with a bone crack sound, doubling him over. Your dead cousin, Toram sneered, lifting his sword high to strike again. And then later it says, let's see if I can find it.
I'm not sure if it's defined.
Here it is. Are you all right? She asked, pulling him to his feet. He took his hand from beneath his coat, fingers thankfully free of blood. That half-healed scar so tender had not broken open.
Nice.
Okay.
So he gets hit on the wound by this practice sword blade.
Brutal.
As at the very moment that fucking Mashadar gets unreleased by Patent Fame.
All right, so let's talk about this fog.
Yeah.
You believe this is Mashadar unleashed by?
I believe it's Patent Fame doing his best Mashadar impression.
Oh, okay.
Because Patent Fame carries with him the evil of Shadar Logoth.
The fog was cold as winter. Shrieks drifted through the murk, men and women crying out, horses screaming.
It seemed to deaden sound, which we know the other one did. I mean, it's described better here because the world's way more developed and he has a better sense of the magical system and but it's the same thing.
I hadn't I hadn't put that together. So that's really cool, and I totally agree with you now. Not like I ever don't agree with you, but yeah.
Right in front of Darlin, the fog suddenly began to take on a form, a man-high shape, but all tentacles and gaping mouths full of sharp teeth.
So who's the girl that? Sorry.
No, you go.
Okay.
Who's the girl that is dead? Who's the dead girl? Do we know? We know it's just some dead girl. Red Sister. So Red Sister fell back into sight, dropping with a thud, face down on the carpets near where Ren knelt. And then it says her head had not been twisted around, so her dead eyes stared up into the fog.
It's the one Red Sister that was in the group.
Okay, so it was just one. Okay.
Yeah, we got her name earlier on.
Okay. I don't remember who it was.
Right.
I guess she's not that important, huh? She's dead.
She's
Do I need
dead.
to know her?
Yeah,
it's fine.
she's dead.
Anyways, okay, yeah.
But that's a good point. So this fog comes in, it starts killing things. Shapes are forming. They kind of move in this like pattern where Catswain is just throwing fireballs at things. Just throwing fireballs. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, she has that amazing what was it? Like fire dripping
from her
fingertips.
Yeah. Quote here, this might be the best one of the night here, guys. Quote, wet white bone.
Wet white bone.
I don't know why we got to be like so specific like that.
Yeah, it's a little distasteful.
It's a wet white bone, baby.
It's a wet bone.
Yeah, how about just yeah. Jesus,
it's
damn.
white.
Well, it's white.
just because your puppet dick is the alabaster doesn't mean you got to be like flaunting that color to the exclusion of all other dick colors. All right, everyone. I put that.
Brian, I did underline big black, but I skipped over it. I didn't.
All right. So as you can see on the crawler below, we do have a scheduling update this Saturday. We are going to be participating in Wheel Takes as a charity stream for SAG-AFTRA. We are going to be doing Watchinary at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and then at Tavern Talk at 2 p.m. Pacific. So your weekend is booked officially. All right.
It's booked. No Sunday show, but 2 on Saturday. So come hang out with us there. Patton Fane jumps out, stabs him out of the fog. Stab. Roll away, roll away, roll away.
Slice, not stab.
Slice.
Oh, you just got joshed.
You got it.
you just got joshed. I lived that life
I got crocked. I know.
You still put the beanie back on though, huh? You're trying hard.
I understand, right?
The more he likes you, the meaner he is. You got to learn this. You're wearing beanies, all of a sudden he's correcting you like that. It's a direct link.
The dagger just scores along his skin. It wasn't deep, but Rand screams nonetheless. And Patton Fane rolls back into the fog. Oh no, he's gone. Rand is weeded out. His eyes are closed. His breath is ragged. His face felt hot.
He vampire.
Nondescript color butter. Yep. But it will be wet. Lifeline full.
Okay, Lifeline of full coming in strong at the end. Bonus points,
guys. All right, I have 2 here. One is dodgy. This one's dodgy. Quote, abruptly ran, convulsed, gasping, and thrashing so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, says yes. The next one is for sure, though. Quote, she drew the finger down the gash.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. And
Dan likes to claim I'm the nasty one.
No, RJ is. I'm just reading stuff, Ryan.
He wrote it. I didn't write it. Okay.
By the way, guys, there's 22 people here. I thank each and every one of you for hanging out with us on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Please, if you can, leave a comment afterwards. I think that helps. And hit the thumb. This is cool. That's cool.
You know, that thumbs up thing.
That thumb. Hit the fucking thumb. Draw your finger down the gash, would you?
Yeah.
Gash. Puppet that gash button.
Okay, fuck. All right.
So, ran
what about this one? So hard his head jerked?
Yes. Yes. So hard his head jerked.
Yes. Josh knows the game. We're playing.
All right. This is maybe on the border of inappropriate, but
yes.
Min shook her head trying to say no, but she could not seem to make her tongue move.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
I love Josh's laugh.
Josh
It's not.
Yeah. No, Josh has
It's not
a good laugh.
Garland's, but
Yeah. A little more self-possession, please.
So they're getting through the fog. They're blasting things. They're going through the fog. Suddenly they get past the barrier. One step there's fog. Next step no fog. Hey, what do you know? No fog. They're like, this must be that Althor guy. Let me see. There was. Oh shit! Hold on. Everyone's tripping. So on the way out, it like specifically mentions how everyone is just tripping, and I assume that it's physically literal tripping, but I don't know. It says that they're talking about Min. Her legs wobbled. She toppled over exposed roots and fell flat on her face. She tripped over rocks and fell. She tripped over her own heeled boots and fell. Caroline went sprawling as many times and many more. Dresses were not made for this sort of travel. Darlin did not fall, but he was like they were saving him because he was carrying Rand. Well, I don't know. That's a lot of falling on faces. I don't know. If it happens once, you're like, "Oh shit, are you okay?" If it happens a lot,
yeah, you're playing yakety sax in your mind. It's like an America's Funniest Home Video fucking montage.
Right. They just get up, they just fall. They're like, "Oh, I'm okay." Oh, fall.
Thrust it hard.
You know it. The best way.
You know it. Is that what you said, Kay?
That's what I said.
The best way. Oh my god.
I'm gonna do it. Thrust hard. Okay?
You know it.
Words to live by.
They're like, all right, we got to take him to the palace. We can take him to this other place. But Min's like, no, if he wakes up in a familiar place surrounded by Aes Sedai, he's going to fuck shit up. You don't want to be there. They're like, okay, cool. They find a turnip cart. They're like, all right, we're going to buy all your turnips and buy your cart, and you're going to take us to the palace pronto. Yeah. On Mortimer, on Shlomo, on Wilmer, on Josie. Those are the four
Josie.
mules.
No, do the like luxury, do the like housewives of whatever the fuck. California place. Orange Anyways. Anyways, Orange County. And then just call all the horses by, be like lavender, herbal,
On
essence,
lavender. On
and
herbal. On goop.
Zen, and Lexus. Get in the car. Daddy's
on
waiting.
Namaste. On karma.
All right, we got a drinking obligation accidentally from chat. I want to play the creek.
All right. Well,
Ooh.
all right. Are we
Coming now strong. I'm gonna eat
Ryan,
some
should we start a dating app?
Dude, these guys are horn dogs. Our fucking chat's so funny.
Dating app?
We have the best chat ever.
I
Ryan,
see you guys.
I love your little angel over your shoulder, by the way.
Oh yeah, I had you I was doing a whole standing on the shoulders of giants thing right here.
Hey, do you even live, bro?
Do you even lift a tiny guy on your shoulder, bro?
Hey, do you eat oatmeal in the morning? It's the best.
I thought it was bullet coffee, Alpha Brain,
Yeah, some bullet coffee
and egg yolks.
some butter, some crack. don't use cream. Throw butter in your coffee. So strong. Ryan, I actually tried it and it was gross. I don't like butter in my coffee.
Really? I don't mind it. It does cut the bitterness.
Yeah.
If you're on a keto diet, it's not a bad alternative.
It's not a good one though. It's just oil coffee.
It cuts the bitterness a little bit.
It's not a good one. I guess in a
yummy.
pinch, but geez.
In a pinch. If you really don't like it black, yeah. But agreed. Yeah, it is oily. If you use too much, you're just drinking butter flavor. It's odd.
Oh, Dan, you didn't have that special butter that
in the coffee. It just sits on top. That's the problem.
Okay, so can we talk about Cat Swing and Min and the compulsion thing?
Yes. I'm ready.
Okay. Help him, she screamed at Cad Swain, like an echo of a distant scream in the mist. Help him! A part of her said that did not make much sense after pushing her away, but his face seemed to burn in her hands, to burn sense. Semitsu quickly, Cad Swain said, standing and rearranging her shawl. He's beyond my talent for healing. She laid a hand atop of Min's head. Girl, I will hardly let the boy die when I haven't taught him manners yet. Stop crying now. And that's a good drinking obligation.
Oh, that's a sad drinking obligation.
I will hardly let the boy die when I haven't taught him manners yet. I mean.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
True masochism. True sadism.
With an eyebrow raised.
That's some German highbrow porn right there.
So then here's the important passage. It was strange. Min was fairly sure the woman had done nothing to her with the power, yet she believed. Teach him manners? A fine tussle that would be. Unfolding her arms around his head, not without reluctance, Min backed away on her knees. Very strange. She had not even realized that she was crying, yet Cat Swing's reassurance was enough to stop the flow of tears. Sniffing, she scrubbed her cheeks with the heel of her hand as Semitsu knelt beside him. Blah, blah, blah. And then later on, now tell me, she said, this is Cat Swain talking to Min. Tell me, Min, what exactly happened the last time this boy woke surrounded by strange Aes Sedai? Her eyes caught Min and held them. She thinks, he wanted it kept secret. It would be, for as long as it could be. But he was dying, and the only chance he had that Min saw rested in these three women. Maybe knowing could not help. Maybe knowing could at least make them understand something of him. They put him in a box, she began. She was not sure how she went on, except that she had to. It's just very suspicious. Yeah. And something similar happens with someone else, too. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
No. I'm just agreeing with you. Keep going. Yeah, this is amazing. I just agree with you. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening. I think that Cad Swain clearly has some power,
yeah.
and persuasion at the very, very least. Whether it's, I read it as intimidation because they refer to her as being like so intimidating that even like the most bold, like I forget how he phrases it, but like basically the most bold Aes Sedai is still intimidated by Cadsuane because she's just like so knowledgeable, so wise, and powerful, and like knows her shit, right? So yeah, I thought it was intimidation that Min was experiencing, and like she just felt like she had to do whatever Cadsuane said, and then like felt like she had to, I don't know, like confess these things or tell her. But you're totally right. I think that especially in that particular instance where she's talking about this and she doesn't really know why she has to tell her this, I think that is suspicious, and it does
The
sound
very
like
strange, the very strangest bookending the sentences where she says, she was fairly sure the woman had done nothing to her with the power, yet she believes. It's just too suspicious. It's bookended with very strangeness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the other thing that I thought, the other person I think that she compelled is Andor Toll. Often when people are compelled, they act like reasonable men, and says that with her fists on her hips and the look on her face said that he might just eat his wagon on the spot if he tried giving her purse back. Andor Toll was a reasonable man, it turned out.
Okay. Whose POV? Whose POV was it again that was observing it?
Min.
Okay,
This is still Min. This is 2 pages later.
See, again, I read that as intimidation. That she's just so intimidating and like, yeah, like known, and people are always kind of like timid of Aes Sedai anyways, and she's like the most intimidating Aes Sedai apparently. So I just
what makes her special
like,
is that she uses compulsion.
Huh?
I think that what makes her special is that she uses compulsion.
So,
yeah,
Josh,
maybe.
Josh, she uses compulsion on fellow sisters?
Fellow sisters,
yes, I mean maybe because they all like know that she's the greatest. I want to find that passage again now where they talk about her and they describe her. You know what I mean?
Well,
maybe the 3 O's make them susceptible. What, Dan?
What if she is using compulsion? Why don't fellow sisters feel or?
So I think the 3 O's make them susceptible.
In what way? Say
Makes
more.
them malleable.
Like, what if the 3 O's makes them susceptible to being compulsed without realizing it? Just an idea.
Huh. Okay, so
I might never say her name correctly again.
We've seen her force of will. We've seen that she comes in like a wrecking ball. But
why does no one else get that treatment? And why is it?
Yeah, I don't think they're specific. Sorry.
Well, Josh, you answered it earlier in the show. You said when an Aes Sedai is confronted with someone who's in power, more powerful, they become obsequious.
But Min's not an Aes Sedai. Neither is Andor Toll. Other people bend their will without understanding why.
Yeah, so yeah, she might, she might be just like spraying compulsion around like a fucking garden hose, or she could just be like so that she's like 9,000 years old, and she's like so many.
He does show a little sass. He starts counting his coin as if it's actually worth it. It doesn't seem like he's gaga over the whole thing. Right?
Ooh, wait, this is a good point. Noman Garden says, when Varen tried her version of compulsion, the the Stilled sister knew what was happening.
Right.
All right, so guys, a quote: Flynn traced his finger along the puffy gash.
Get rid of Puffy.
Every word made that better. That was like a Zen clan.
That was the best drinking obligation ever.
Trace his finger along the puffy gash. Guys, we've
The
all been there.
puffy gash.
We've
If
all
you know,
been
you
there.
know.
We've all been Flynn.
So good.
She stopped to swallow. He would.
Fuck, all right.
Yes.
I
totally underlined that one. That was the only one I think I got this time. I definitely didn't get puffy gash. Man.
I so almost spit all over my laptop right then.
So Flynn turns out to be pretty good healer. Yeah, a little bit better than Semistu. What's her name?
So within a year, they figured out healing. They figured out the warder bond, or the wife bond.
The wife bond, yeah.
It's just amazing.
Gateways. These
Balefire,
rolling fire destruction stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to a certain degree, it shows just how lax the White Tower actually is. They're like, it's like the White Tower is like, oh, okay, for you to be an Aes Sedai, you need to do these sparkling lights while doing a weave of this and like ornamental shit, right? The Black Tower, people show up and a year later, not even a year later, they're able to make gateways, they're able to heal, they're able to bond their wife, they're able to do all this stuff right from scratch. There's not any template here. There's not any. So it shows.
Well, doesn't this reflect on the nature of like the authoritarianism in the White Tower and like the strict rules? I mean, the Black Tower.
If there's a 5-minute mile, then you're going to run a 5-minute mile until someone breaks it. And the Black Tower doesn't know that there's a 5-minute mile.
But they also weren't designed to hem in the stuff that brought down the last age, right? Like the White Tower is paying the price of being a part of the destruction of the world. Right? They're there to keep women channelers in check so that society can trust them. Males are just straight up killed because they're so fucked up.
Right. And they're not concerned
with
they're not concerned with logic. They're not concerned with all these bullshit things.
Right. So it makes sense that they're able to progress much more quickly. Plus they're battling with fucking going mad. So
is Deshiva is he crazy right now?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he seems like he has been for a while already.
Rand seems to ignore the whole thing, though. I mean, is Rand?
He notices,
is he being realistic about the situation.
Rand can't think about he has no empathy. He can't think about other people other than like as abstract philosophical and political objects that his actions will have an effect on. Women, on the other hand, he can think about one-on-one. And Perrin, so people that are close to him, he can still see as individuals, but he doesn't really interface with society in a general way as recognizing other people as individuals at this point.
Do you think that's part of like him going mad? Because I was thinking about like how he you're right, he still has like these parts of himself which are really just still him, very much him. Like he really, really cares about Perrin, and he's worried about, women getting hurt at all, let alone killed, and very specific about that. And we see that a lot and over, and we've seen that consistently. So that there are parts that feel like it's authentic Rand still, and then there are parts like this that feel like, wait, what the hell is he doing?
Is it madness, or is it just him accepting his role as the Dragon Reborn?
And I don't know.
With like what you have to deal with as the Messiah. I mean, one way to look at this is we're seeing firsthand the Messiah, the other side of the Messiah complex, or Messiah truth, whatever, however you want to look at it, right?
What is the Messiah complex?
If Rand is the savior of the world, what does it do to you as a human being?
All that power.
What does it mean to accept that you are the savior and that you will die in the process of doing it? Is that madness, or is that just what happens when you accept that as truth and what you have to go through as an individual to relieve yourself of the stress of that?
Rand also says about 4 times this chapter, I am the Dragon Reborn.
Right.
Like
he's really come to terms with his identity as it.
He is being very insistent about his identity in these chapters.
So I want to hear what KayK thinks.
Yeah.
No, so I just feel like he's like so basically what you're saying is that he's just basically overwhelmed. Like he's a little too overwhelmed to give a shit about like there are bigger things on his mind. Like he's
that's what I was saying is that he would never recognize the Shiva as mad because he can't resolve the world at that resolution at the moment because of what he's accepted as his role as the Dragon Reborn. And like how he has to think
so much bigger that this is just like a blip in the realm of things, and he like can't be bothered with it.
And he's given over control of the Black Tower to what's his fuck?
What's his fuck?
Yeah, what is his fuck?
Tame.
Mazrim Tame.
Mazrim Tayyip.
Ooh.
What do they call him? The
Imhale.
Imhale, right? Imhale.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have the Ashaman. He only has 3 of them with him. There's hundreds. So could we assume that there are people that are better than these 3 that he just randomly picked in these things as well?
No, I think it's the pattern that he picked them.
Okay.
Or his Tavernness. Because isn't what's his face, the one Flynn, the same one who created the bond between man and wife? I'm pretty sure.
It probably is because Dashiva doesn't really talk. Oh, no, yeah, I think it was Dashiva.
No, it was Flynn who said, "I can tell my wife's knee is hurting now."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not looking at the passage at the moment, but I believe so.
No, I think you're right. As
Wait,
you
what?
say, yeah. Yeah. So they try to heal him. They can't.
We got a couple Grady's in the chat.
Huh?
Wadhawk saying Grady.
Oh, Grady. Oh, so is Grady the third one of them who's there?
Okay, yeah.
I'm not looking at the passage, so I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, Jur Grady's the one who created it in Emma Garden. But who is it who's talking about his wife's knee hurting? Is it Flynn?
Oh yeah.
It could have been Grady. I'm not sure.
Well,
it doesn't really matter. I was just curious if the healing and that are connected. That's all.
I also like how Flynn kind of has to talk out loud as he's doing this shit. He's like, all right, well,
and not about doing it, just about random shit. It's like he's like small talking.
Right. He's small talking and he's like, and there. Like I imagine the surgeon could also do this. He's like, my son went to You know, I went to his 7th grade teachers conference, and
It's just another episode of Grey's Anatomy.
yeah, but they're just talking bullshit, like weird stuff in the middle. Yeah, as they're sewing someone up.
Yeah, all the drama happens over, open carcasses.
An episode of MASH, Dan.
An episode of MASH, yeah.
Yeah, Klinger's was wearing a dress.
Klinger's in a dress, yes.
Oh, I loved MASH.
BJ Honeycutt.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
and Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Yeah.
Hawkeye Pierce. He was the wisecrack. And Hot Lips Houlihan. Hot Lips Houlihan.
You can't get you cannot get a
guys. Meet your Avengers.
Oh no.
Hot Lips Houlihan.
It's hard to know whether Deshiva is.
That's like a roller derby name, dude.
Just Deshiva almost takes credit for Flynn's work here. So is it that Deshiva's just like, doesn't Deshiva almost attack Rand like when they first meet? He's the one, right?
Yeah. He confronts him.
He confronts him.
I don't remember, but
and then MrHowley has to like stop him and be like, "What? You're gonna like throw the power of the Dragon Reborn?"
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck off." He's like, "All right." I'm watching you. I'm watching.
Cat Swain's gaze met Min's for a moment, and Min shivered.
Yeah.
Is that the compulsion or a drinking obligation?
Drinking obligation.
Okay.
I love how the yellow Aja is like, Simitsu's like, how did you do that? What did you do? Tell me. Teach me now. It's just like what happened with Nynaeve.
Uh-huh.
Right. Everyone's like, what? Show me how you do that trick.
The one that makes me scream, she said. All right.
If only there was some way you could show me, but you describe it. You must. I will give you all the gold I possess.
Yeah,
not sure herself whether she was commanding or begging.
She's like, I will give you all the gold I possess, bear your child, whatever you wish, but you will tell me all that you can. Zenitsu, man. Zenitsu was impressed. She's like, I'll have your babies. I'll be your baby mama. I'll pass your seed. Just tell me your tricks, please. I like that. I wonder if that does violate Tower. She's not a red. She's yellow, so I guess she can marry and have his babies. Is there anything else in these chapters?
Her thumb ran along the haft of her belt knife in a very expressive manner.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, man. I thought we were done.
For the Dan.
Yep. Yeah. Well, all right. You're watching me. Guys, we are. I know I told Josh and Kay apparently to read chapter 37, but I
never remember. I'm always like,
we are finishing the book. We're finishing the book next week. We are going through like 80 and 90 pages.
Whoa.
It's going to finish the book. So we may not get through every chapter, but we are going to read to the end and see what we can do.
I'm excited for the next chapter. I want to know how Matt's doing. I have such a soft spot in my heart for Matt right now. I mean, I always have. I love this character so much. I didn't expect to love any of them the way that I love Matt. So I'm very excited about the next chapter. Find out what he's doing.
Isn't it weird to be empathetic and rooting for Matt, where Matt is kind of a scoundrel? You know, I wouldn't want my daughter to date Matt.
Yeah, but he's just conflicted. Like, he's outwardly just so different than he presents differently than he is, you know, and he always does, like, or tries to do the right thing, I think. So I don't know. And he's so loyal. He's very loyal.
He's got to be pretty hot, right? Like, serving chicks or serving women are like throwing themselves.
I mean, I think so, but
yeah, right. Matt's got the mots.
No, he must be good looking. Yeah, decent enough, or he's just got confidence up the wazoo. You know,
he's got that big dick energy.
Exactly. You got the BDE. You can do anything.
Yeah, I hear you. Guys, you want to finish the book next week?
Let's do it.
Yes, please.
Right? High five.
Yes, please.
High five.
High fives all around. Am I going the right way?
No.
Just
really?
Just to the camera.
Whoosh.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. All right, everyone. Until next week, read and fuck off.
Read and fuck off.
Thanks, everybody.
We love you.